More than 40 million Americans rely on the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, kind of food stamps, to feed their families. And now the Department of Agriculture says November SNAP benefits may not be issued because of this shutdown. And several states are warning they only have a few days until money runs out for their own food programs. NewsNation's Alicia Nieves is live for us in New York City with the details. Good morning, Alicia. How many states say their SNAP benefits are at risk?
Yeah, good morning, Anna. I mean, New York is one of them, but it's really only one of about a half dozen other states like Minnesota, Pennsylvania, even Texas, that are saying in a matter of days, we could see SNAP benefits be reduced or cut off for millions of people. You're talking about 2 million people right here in the Big Apple alone. In Texas, that number is even more substantial, more than 3 million people uncertain at this hour about where their next meal is going to come from.
We will not go hungry. We will not go hungry.
We're talking about over 500,000 kids, over 500,000 older adults. These are everyday New Yorkers who desperately depend on food stamps to feed their families.
Yeah, about 12% of the country, or 42 million Americans, rely on SNAP, with the highest rate of enrollment in states like New Mexico, D.C., Louisiana, Oregon, and Oklahoma. And it's not just SNAP here. The WIC program, the nutrition program for women and children, that provides staples like milk and formula, that is also nearing another funding cliff, impacting about 7 million mothers and babies. Agriculture Secretary Rollins says the time is running out.
We're going to run out of money in 2 weeks. So you're talking about millions and millions of vulnerable families, of hungry families that are not going to have access to these programs because of this shutdown.
Yeah, Anna, and have to reinforce here, we're talking about the poorest families in this country that include elderly, children, and even veterans who are now caught in the crosshairs of this stalemate in Congress.
Yeah, look, it's disruptive. It could even be dire. Alicia, how are food pantries preparing if next month's benefits don't arrive?
Yeah, you want to talk about anxiety? Go to a food bank right now and talk to leaders there. They're really concerned. They've already seen this surge over the last couple of weeks, given the federal shutdown has impacted federal workers. They say demand is surging, and it's surging at a time where federal aid is dwindling. Now, after those cuts, you remember a few weeks ago, the Trump administration pulled back on funding for a lot of food banks. You pair that with the fact that the cost of food, that continues to rise. Many food banks are worried that they are running out of food, money, and now, of course, time.
It's not a good feeling to try to figure out where your next meal is going to come from or how we're going to pay our bills.
Yeah, so you have the potential now of tens of millions of Americans having to rely potentially on food banks, and many say they just weren't built for this kind of surge. It is vital to these people, but also these food banks that Congress, ends this stalemate and comes to some sort of agreement. Again, in the next few days, things could shift pretty dramatically across the country, Anna.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.